Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Philip Mershon, and today we're diving into a super cool and all but forgotten form of entertainment, the dinner theater. But first, did you know that it costs absolutely nothing, zip, zero, zilch, nada, to be a subscriber of this channel? And that's the exact same amount that is levied every time you hit the like button on one of these stories? Yep. 100% free. Now, on the other hand, if you're one of those who just has to spend money, and I love that for you, you can make a contribution that helps me keep the lights on with the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description box of this video. But I digress. So buckle up, because we're going on a tasty and dramatic journey through time. You know, these days, if you go out for a night of entertainment, it usually means dinner and then a show, or maybe a show and then dinner. But if I were to drop you in many places in America in the 60s and 70s, you could do both at the exact same time. And by show, I don't mean a movie. I'm talking about a live production of a play or a musical that had once played Broadway. That, my friends, is the magic of dinner theater. Now, way back in 1953, 6 New York actors took over 3.5 acres in central Virginia, about a half-hour north of Richmond, that included the Hanover Tavern. In fact, the property had always had a tavern on it since the year 1733. They named it the Barksdale Theater after a deceased college friend, and it became what many consider the first formal dinner theater in the U.S., starting initially with buffet dinners in the room next to the performance space. And then, in '59, the Candlelight Theater in Washington, D.C. was the first to serve dinner and show together. But the big game changer? Well, that really came when Howard Wolf, the so-called father of dinner theater, opened the Barn Dinner Theater in 1961, which in turn became a chain of 27 of them across 7 states. It was theater in the round, with a magic stage that would ascend from the floor on cables up into the ceiling, where stage techs would change the sets in less than a minute and then descend back down ready to go. The dinner theater concept had its heyday from the late 60s to the late 70s. At peak, there were nearly 150 theaters in the country, and these were all signatories of the Actors' Equity Union. Then there were scores more smaller non-equity operations. The actor Jay Barney was actually writing a regular column on dinner theaters in the industry publication Backstage magazine. He once wrote in his column that a fine dinner with a show and free parking would run you about $13 on the weekend, a far cry from the nearly $100 it would have cost for tickets at a good repertory company outside of New York, along with a good meal at a good restaurant. The attraction was even greater, considering that you had a chance to see one of your favorite old movie or TV stars acting right alongside your local talent. Imagine going to see the comedy play Boeing Boeing, starring Wally and the Beaver. Yes, Tony Dow and Jerry Mathers did the show in a number of dinner theaters in the 70s. And not just them, but other TV veterans like Bob Denver, Gary Berghoff, Nancy Culp, Dawn Wells, Bill Daly, Gavin MacLeod, and Chuck Connors. Then there were the old movie stars like Lana Turner, Van Johnson, Myrna Loy, Mickey Rooney, Dorothy Lamour, and Cesar Romero. Why did these stars do it? Well, for one thing, it's hell being past your Hollywood sell-by date, and going out across the country gave them direct access to adoring audiences, and they were treated like royalty in these communities. In some cases, it took them back to the days of becoming a family, with your fellow onstage and backstage cohorts nursing a production through the rehearsal process together. And the lesser-known actors working with them really looked up to them. And then, there was the money. In addition to first-class transportation to and from their home in California, They were generally put up in a luxury condominium in the location town and paid between $2,000 and $4,000 per week. That's $15,000 to $30,000 in today's dollars. So for the actors, the theaters, and the audiences, it was win-win-win. A couple of actors even got into the dinner theater business. The actor Earl Holliman had the Fiesta Dinner Playhouse in San Antonio, Texas for a decade. And of course, Burt Reynolds had his dinner theater in Jupiter, Florida for over 15 years. You can count a number of reasons why the golden era of dinner theater passed. Foremost, every new generation changes its taste from the preceding one. Also, by the late 70s, there was an oversaturation in many of these markets, with some mid-sized cities having 3 and 4 venues competing for not enough audience. Also, there was cable TV and HBO and MTV and VCRs, and suddenly there was more of a pull to stay home for your entertainment. The stars, too, could stay at home, shoot a commercial, and between the performance fee and the residuals, make out like bandits. Besides, they could now connect with those same adoring audiences by booking a guest spot on Murder, She Wrote. So, are dinner theaters still around today? Well, the good news is absolutely yes. While they might not be as widespread as they once were, there are still some incredible dinner theaters if you do a little checking. And the concept has also evolved. You'll find a lot of interactive murder mystery dinner shows where you're not just watching a show, you're actually part of the action. These places prove that the desire for a meal and a show, all in one fun package, is still very much alive. So the next time you're looking for a unique night out, why not consider dinner theater? It's a fantastic way to maybe discover a new favorite kind of fun. You got any dinner theater memories? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much for joining this Mid-Century Vault adventure. Take good care until the next time we curtain up.